Right, so I think this time I actually am live. First time choosing OBS to stream through YouTube, and struggling a bit to get things up and running. I think there, but I think we're looking at the race now. So we're here. It's FTRL for Assetto Corsa on the PlayStation. It's round 5 at Bathurst. Qualifying, there is 13 minutes left in the session, so I guess it's a 20-minute qualifying session. It's been a while since I covered quali, so it goes. So blue flag seems to be setting the early pace. Sweeney, I think, is our championship leader currently in the garage. Let's see who else on track. Flying Frome is on track. Let's see how he's doing then. He's certainly up there. I think Iggy, actually, maybe he's the championship leader, but he's not racing tonight. He couldn't make it, so a good opportunity for everyone else to catch up and get some points. Maybe see if they can overhaul the lead that Iggy has in the championship. While we're here, might as well just pop up those standings while I can. So there we can see, in fact, Iggy, leads the championship. Sweeney is a point behind him. Frome is 8 points behind Sweeney. So it's the top two have just been pulling away. Iggy not racing tonight. Could give everyone else an opportunity, although of course Sweeney is going to be the one to really try and look forward to it. So we'll see if anything happens there. So let's go back to the action. Now, if I actually popped anything up to see what all these corner names were, it might be good. But up the mountain goes Frome in the Lamborghini. Can I make this any bigger so I can actually see it on my screen? Is that going to affect the stream? A little bit, but we can soon sort this out. Don't mind me while I mess around with this. I'm sure the professionals would probably sort their screen, not live, but there we go. That should be working again now. Fingers crossed. That's always a tricky corner, that. I don't know the track too well, but that's always a tricky one coming off the top of the mountain, because you really need to nail that one. Just to get you some straight line speed down here. Blue flag Taco then takes, well, provisional pole at the minute, 0.06 of a second ahead of blue flag. Blue flag seems to be the one to keep an eye on. He's getting some good laps, I believe. The Mercedes obviously liking this track. Blue Mosquito also enjoying it so far in qualifying. Frome pops himself into the pits. So Mr. Tumble, oh no, he's not on a lap, is he? Let's try then car then, let's go with Cablo. Over to the big telly. It's a little bit new, this one, so we'll see how it goes. And there's Cablo coming down the mountain. I'll try not to sing that at some point, but full disclosure, 2 gins in. There's every chance I might end up singing later on. Charging down the straight does Cablo then in the Bentley. I think that's the big looking car. If I remember rightly from the other races, the Lamborghini is the tiny one. Oh, there's a car off the track. Who's that, number 23, Midnight? Has he just got out of the way? Yeah, I think he has. So Cablo's going to come down and finish his lap off now. Let's see where he is. Can he get anywhere near? Low 2 minutes. No, we cannot. Sorry, Cabs, for showing that one. I'm sure your next one will be better. I'll come back to you in a minute. Let's go over to unsafe release now as he's coming charging down the mountain. I told you, that is a tricky corner, that one. I thought like he struggled to get it in, because I think you do want to be a bit neater in that, and so you can get on the power earlier. down this long straight, but a slipstream's going to get interesting down here because it's not the strongest, but it will be enough just to probably bring a car alongside into this little kink, and then through that little kink you're in trouble if you're going side by side, because these cars don't have quite as much grip as anyone would like. Round he goes. Up towards the final corner now. 90-degree left-hander. And goes up into ninth. Nice lap. Let's see who else is coming down. Lee Cole seems to be on a lap. And he's got a very quick looking prototype Steph behind him, but he does say he's blue on my track map, so hopefully that means he's not on a lap. So through the chicane goes Lee Cole. And up to this last corner, we've got 7.5 minutes left in quali. This quali session will be flying through very quickly because it's a long lap here as well, so you're not going to get too many chances. Lee Cole there pops himself into 14th. Cablo then. Told you to come back to him. Let's see if he can improve on that lap of also somewhere around a 2:06. Going for the quick maths. Into the final left-hander, and he does. He gets up into 12th place. Nice lap there from Cablo, who's just started at 1:37. Mr. Tumble. Mr. Tumble, he has some pace usually, so let's watch Mr. Tumble as he goes around a lap of Bathurst or Mount Panorama. Oh, Cablo's having a little issue there with which car that is. 23, Midnight. So, well, let's have a look and see if we can't find these corner names. I think it's referring to it as the mountain section, the straights. Left, right. Never good naming. So here we go. We've got a list up. This is the dipper. Right, so the S is the dipper. Tumble. Down then towards Forest's Elbow. That's the little tricky left-hander that opens up onto the Conrod Straight, which is a particularly short name for a very long straight. Because by the time he's blasted down there, he's still going over this little crest. We've just unsettled the aero balance a bit. If you're following someone into the chase, or is that one, is the chase the chicane? I'm not sure. Turns 21 and 22 on this 23 turn circuit. Mr. Tumble then setting his first lap with, well, only 5 minutes of quali left, so he's not too interested coming out too early. And he goes 14th. Main straight, and then main straight, optimistic, and then that's Hell Corner, which is turn 1. Duo Finn also hasn't set a lap yet, with now 4 minutes left. Moves up to 14th. And Cornelius, he looks like he's coming in to set his lap as well again, leaving it late. Other stuff going on up front, but Cornelius is in 16th, so maybe it's just taking a lap to warm the tyres up. Who's coming on now? Flying Frome seems to be coming down the main straight. Glitch there, not sure what happened then, so he's coming into chicane at 21.22, powers it down. To the final corner, let's see if he's going to improve. Can he get anywhere near blue flag and Toko's time? Not on this lap. Who else is coming down there? Looks like Rally and Matthew seems to be coming down the Conrod Straight. Oh, Flying Frome seems to have pulled off to the side of the track. He's car 37, I think. Yes, he is. Rally and Matthew trying to get a little slipstream there from... Is that Cablo? Is that 94? That might be Lee Cole. The final turn now. Turn Murray's corner. And Rally Matthew improves a little bit up into 10th place. Who can we go and have a look at now? See someone sort of starting a lap. Prototype Steph. Oh, he seems to have pulled off to the side of the track there, so that was a good call. Let's go watch Mr. Grumpy then. As he comes up towards the cutting, that's this left-hander. And around then into Quarry Corner, that seems to be 5-6. Two right-handers, Reed Park's your left-hander, and then Frog Hollow. Very Australian naming these things, to Sulman Park. That must be the names of the parks nearby rather than the turn names, and Mr. Grumpy pulls off. If you can excuse the expression. Not something we want to talk about. On what is a PG stream, I will do my best to keep it as PG as possible. Depending on the action as we go up the hill to all the various mountain sections. Occasional expletive may come out, but blue flag then. Is he on an out lap or is he just on a lap? Let's watch as he goes up and around. This is through 9, 10, left-hander. A tricky one then. Skyline apparently is the corner. Down we go into the S's. Left, little right, little left again. Right and left and right, and eventually you get up towards Forest Elbow. Mercedes looking lovely in its blue with yellow stripe across the front of it. Powers down the main straight here. Well, hey, main straight, it's the longest straight, I suppose. Up over the crest, we just saw another car in the background, which would be Blue Mosquito's Mercedes. It's currently a second off the pace, but blue flag then into the chicane. Drives down towards the last corner. 40 seconds in quali, so he's got one lap left after this if he fancies. Across the line. Doesn't seem to be an improvement. Mosquito, does he improve? No, he does not. So some Duo Finn did cross the line to improve, and he's into 12th place now. There we go, so that's the end of quali. Everyone's just finishing their laps off now. Like the first who's probably going to cross the line is Artemis Taco, so just keep an eye on how Taco. No, in fact he's not going to cross the line, he's off the track, so it is going to be unsafe release, and we've got half a lap to go of unsafe release. Let's see how much he goes for into the S's down towards the dipper. There are in fact only 3 cars on track at the minute. Unsafe release, Midnight, and I can see a car. Oh, that's Blue Flag. He's also on track. So it looks like Blue Flag does have his pole position. That's pretty much going to be your grid unless unsafe release or Midnight come up with something special. Unsafe release is going to cross the line first. He will not improve. Midnight. won't improve, and blue flag then has his pole position. So there's your grid order. It's blue flag leads Taco, Trit, Blue Mosquito, Flying Foam, Sweeney, Midnight, Bonage Town. We didn't actually see any of in that session, so we'll try and get him in the race. Unsafe release, Riley Matthews, Steph, Duo Finn, Cablo, Mr. Grumpy, Mr. Tumble, Cornelius, and Lee Cole are your 17 drivers for FTRL's Assetto Corsa at Mount Panorama here at Bathurst. So now we'll just take a little break and usually end up having to leave the server to come back in for the start of the race. So I will speak to you all very soon. Hopefully we're back and we're going to see some signs of racing. We may be on the formation lap, we may have missed the start, but you have to give these things a pause when you're on Assetto Corsa. Nope, that was at the start of the formation lap. So we'll come out of the application again and rejoin. Right, after that little pause, hopefully when we get back in, we'll have some racing. I'm hoping that we're not too far into the race. We should have hopefully be on the formation lap, but such is this game. Oh, thank goodness for that, we are. Oh no, blue flag. Oh, blue flag, having qualified on pole, he hasn't pressed drive or something, so he's going to start from the pit lane. That's a disaster. Oh, it's gone all sorts of wrong for them for blue flag. Oh, that's such a shame for him. Such a strong quali, and then for that to happen. So the man who's going to lead the way is going to be Tucker. There's someone else. The cars out there. Oh, it's Trit. He did, yeah. We had 17 cars, so Trit also is starting from the pit lane. Anyway, keep it nice to tight together, and we are about to go green then at Bathurst. And race starts off. And it's green. Wow, that's a late green. We'll dash down into the first corner. Tocco leads the way. Flying Foam's come through. I said I was going to keep an eye on Cablo because that's where the fun happens. Oh, no, it's not. It's Lee Cole. Lee Cole seems to have gone off at the back there. So that's unfortunate for Lee. Out comes blue flag. He very nearly collects Lee on the way out. Flying Foam, for some reason, he decided to show me that. So he's neck and neck with what looks like Blue Mosquito. Going up to 2 Oh, wow, that's a big dive from Sweeney. Pushes Foam wide. Oh, there's a lot of cars off. That's not gone well. Foam's in trouble. He's got a lot of damage from that, I think. Was that Sweeney maybe a bit too optimistic? Hard to say, but it looked it. It didn't look like he was quite there for it. Cold tyres, you're never quite sure. Oh no, that's Bonage Town then catching Sweeney from behind as well in the Lamborghini. And yeah, it's not gone well for the cars behind. A great start then for Artemis Tocco. Blue Mosquito at midnight. You can see the gap already. Oh, I say Blue Mosquito. Blue Mosquito is off the track. Where is he? He has gone off. Yeah, he's down at the back now. Not the place you want to be coming back on the track really, but you don't have much choice where you crash. So it's Tocco leads midnight, leads Sweeney then. Around what's going on a bit further back, but it's very, very busy over the hill. Mr. Grumpy then up to 7th. He's had a great start there. I don't think he qualified that high, so great start then for Mr. Grumpy. Flying Foam's had a shocker. He's down in 8th. Blue Mosquito, as you can see, is tumbling through the standings as they update. Cablo. Oh no, Cabs. Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was going to stay on board with him because something was going to happen, and I didn't, and it has. So I'm sorry again, Cabs. I've missed you. Whatever issue you've had, I've missed again. But as we go, so what's your order? It's Tocco leads midnight, Sweeney. Bonage Town in 4th. Mr. Grumpy up in 5th. I've missed something that happened there with Mr. Grumpy because he was in 7th. To 5th, Mr. Grumpy. Great start of him. Unsafe release has got Mr. Tumble right behind him. So we'll watch these two. These two misters seem to spend an awful lot of time near each other on the track. Look at that crest down the front straight. So there's... Well, these cameras don't change very easily to see what's going on, but as they come up the hill, that's a lovely camera angle. There's a tumble then, he's got Flying Foam just behind him. The flags are flying. Oh, there's another car going very slowly. Which car is that? Sweeney, Bonage Town, is it? No. Yes, it's Grumpy in 5th. Safe release. Oh, like another hit to the wall then from Mr. Tumble. So the guys are struggling out there. Grip's not where they want it. Steph seems to be stopped on track as well. Tumble takes an interesting line. Tumble down the hill might be the best and kindest way of putting it, really. Keep an eye on what's going on because seems to be the bit of the track they're struggling. Well, it would be. If you're struggling on the straight, you're doing something wrong. Tocco is out already to a 3.5 second lead over Midnight, and he's another 4 seconds over Sweeney and another 3.5 over Ponage. So the gap at the front's extending, but the gap behind them is certainly not. Mr. Grumpy leads a big gaggle of cars. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 big dive bomb. Frome is round. Who was that hit him? 720, is that Cornelius? Cornelius really sent one in there. The Frome isn't having fun with this at all, so he's down even further, and a bit more damage, and probably a few choice northern words going on in that party that he's probably in. I know he does like to concentrate on his driving, but at this point, what's the point? Just might as well enjoy it. So again, your top 4 are just easing off. Mr. Grumpy's got a nice little, nice little gap. He's got a second to Mr. Tumble. I couldn't see the car. An unsafe release then right behind him. We got then to Matthew Blue Mosquito after his early incident. He's back up to 9th. So I'm sure that's the last of the incidents up the hill we're going to see from the guys. Does seem to be a struggle. Yeah, there's Blue Mosquito struggling to get it turned in there, so I don't know if he's got a bit of damage or if he just missed his turning point. It didn't look like he got anywhere near the apex. I thought he was going into the wall again, and again, seems like he's struggling to get that car in. Let's keep an eye. He's flying from definitely. Looks like he's getting closer and closer. Lovely camera angles here. It is a beautiful track. I imagine actually driving it in real life is a real challenge. That's another car. Who's that? I think just further or no, he's further up. So I don't know who that was struggling. But oh, it's unsafe release. Okay. Oh, more going on up front there. I actually seeing what was going on there. Where the big incidents happen. Just cuts away just as you're about to send. Someone's about to send a dive bomb. The camera changes. Anyway, as I was saying, I imagine it's an incredibly challenging race to drive in real life. The big straights just will help you nod off, and then you come to some incredibly technical sequences of corners. It's hard off. There's cars are just appearing in the middle of the track, doing nothing. That's blue flag then at the back, being lapped. So I don't know what's happened there. He started from the pit lane. He's shocker. Hard to keep up with what's going on. Let's just go back up the front with Mr. Grumpy, Mr. Tumble, Rally Matthew. That's not going to look good. That's not where I'd be trying to pass, if I'm honest. Come on, camera, keep it on. It's good so far. There's a little contact. Grumpy looks like he just touched the wall, but I haven't got away with it. That is probably about as clean a pass as you'll see around that section of track. You've done very well not to stick either of them in the wall. Just hopefully the cars behind don't get. And they are doing. I was going to say they're a little too aggressive, closing the gap. Offline, you are going to struggle to keep momentum through that tricky series of corners. So Mr. Tumble has got past Mr. Grumpy, and behind him then will be Rally Matthews, the next car to look at coming through. Yeah, there's not a lot of room up the hill to come through. That's blue flag unlapping himself then. So he does have pace, he just seems to have found himself in the wrong part of the track. He's got Matthew up the inside. Blue flag is rapid. He's absolutely flying. just cruised past Matthew to unlap himself, and he's to Grumpy. A little touch at the back there. I can see this. They're all struggling just to keep out the way of each other. And that is, it's Tritt as well. He's unlapping himself on everyone as well. So whatever happened early on between those guys, they've just found themselves at the wrong part of the track because they're having to fight their way back through the field. And obviously the field doesn't want to give them that place back because they are lapped cars. So the sun's going down. Not sure what the timing multiplier is on this one tonight, but it does look beautiful. Oh, just have a look at sequence of corners. We've got flying from. Just have a look up front there. Sweeney is starting to close into midnight. Cornish Town seems to have again found a bit of a gap on his own at the minute, so he's 7 seconds from the nearest car either way. Much from coming down the hill. We've got Matt. Pit window now is open then, so anyone with a bit of damage may be coming in now. If not, you tend to want to leave it till about the middle of the race. You don't want to wear your tyres out too much. Rally Mappy goes past unsafe release. A bit further back. It's Cornelius and Joe Finn. Battle for 11th. Cornelius probably nursing a bit of damage from that crash earlier with Frome. I just noticed Sweeney is getting particularly close to midnight. Flying Frome is in the pit, so he's obviously on a fair bit of damage. Blue Mosquito again also in the pit, so again assuming he's got a fair chunk of damage that he doesn't want to try and stretch out too much. He'd rather take 40-minute or 50-minute old tyres at the end of this race. And unfortunately, yeah, Cablo in the pits as well, which sort of suspected. Let's see if we can then focus forward then on these two guys. Second and third place, Midnight and Sweeney. Sweeney is going to probably, well, he's going to be a championship leader unless he doesn't finish tonight, because of course Iggy isn't racing with us. There's not really any points that Sweeney scores. Frankly, they're usually a lot of points. Toko's having a nice time out there in the Bentley. I'll have to show him at some point, because I apologise to Sweeney last week because I didn't really show him much as he was out front so much. My fault if you don't have any action because you're driving well. No one wants to watch someone just driving fast. It's not interesting. That's my line. I'm going to stick to it. So we'll hopefully show Sweeney tonight, having a bit of a look at for second place. But just for now, that battle's, well, I'd say it's just eased off. But they're half a second to each other. We'll just go back here because it looks like there's a bit of a push between a couple of cars. Mr. Grumpy up behind Mr. Tumble. No, that's not Mr. Tumble, that's Tritt. Lapped cars are really throwing me off. Oh, Mr. Grumpy's had a bit of a wiggle on right at the last corner. And he's got Rally Mappy up the inside for some company. Mr. Grumpy then slides to, oh, I'm not sure if they crashed or if that was just a bit of lag. Seems to go down straight. He's holding on nicely then. Oh, they are in the same car, so Rally Matthew does have the line and position as well now. Oh, he's not giving this up, Mr. Grumpy, so let's stick with this. Oh, that's a novel line. That's not the way most people take that corner, and now Riley Matthew has escaped a bit. So just pushing a bit too much there. Martin Brundle says just for ambition overcomes adhesion, or something like that. So just got back up to the front to see how Sweeney's doing, chasing down Midnight. Seems to be one of the closest battles on track at the minute. The cars all have spread out a bit. Ponish Town has found himself a nice little part of the world. 4th place. Well, last week's, I believe he was 2nd last week. Great drive, took advantage of a couple of guys' issues. Again, that was an incident involving Frome and Blue Mosquito. These guys just can't seem to get the look at the minute. Sweeney then right up behind Midnight now. Get a good run out of turn 1. We could see an interesting battle. You got Blue Mosquito then, who has pitted, getting his blue flags, and he's out the way very nicely. So you can see Sweeney, 94. Which car is number 94? Is Lee Cole. He's got a stop go for speeding in the pits as Sweeney has a look at Midnight. Makes his way through, nice. And he's going to try and set about that 5-second gap to Taco. We are 7 laps in at 2 minutes a lap. I'm guessing we're having about 30 laps tonight. It's a rather wonderful track in Australia. Going on back here, we're coming up the hill with Ponish Town, and he's in a nice gap, so very sorry in your lovely Lamborghini, but find a car or we'll not see much of you tonight. Having a good race there in 4th place at the minute. Some cars are starting to pit, still early in the pit window, really. Track position maybe if you go for an undercut. Oh, tripped. Got him at the right time. He's had a big moment going down the hill. He's not pitted, but if he might pit now after that one, because that'll be a fair chunk of damage to that Bentley. It's one thing driving the Bentley, it's another thing to smash it into the advertising board that says Bentley, just to prove that you are in a Bentley. Car 91. Car 91 on safe release. You have a stop-go penalty for speeding. 30 seconds, that's a harsh penalty. A 30-second stop-go as well. And let's see what's going to tripped. Which car this is that's next to him. Raleigh Matthew. Yes, it was Raleigh Matthew. He was trying to lap Trit. His car was obviously damaged. And bit of a shame we didn't let him through particularly easily. So Midnight's not falling off the back of Sweeney. Sweeney isn't catching up to Taco at the minute, so we'll try and get some time with our race leader. At the minute it looks like he may be having quite a nice race. It's like the way you do, if you're going to win a race, you do tend to want it to be as easy and combat free as possible. Just still have the pits, it's easy apparently to get a stop-go penalty, because that's 2 cars that have done it so far. Usually it's a drive-through. If you speed in the pit, it tends to be a drive-through on this game, unless you're going really too fast. So I'm guessing they've both gone absolutely flying in the pits and not realised where the speed line was, or the pit lane limit line was, and they've found themselves in trouble. Who was on pole, started from the pits for some reason. Down in 12th. Well, good pace, he's having a lot of pace, because he seems to be catching up to Ponish Town there in 4th. Sweeney and Midnight, because these guys are not leaving each other. Looks like Rally Matthew and Mr. Tumble are getting close as well. So yeah, Flying From leads the cars that haven't pitted, I don't think. He'll be enjoying the... he's not your net leader by any stretch of the imagination. So Sweeney is still followed very, very closely by Midnight. In fact, Midnight's got a great run on him, but he's going to be finding it difficult to get through there. We saw, was it Mr. Tumble or Rally Matthew, one of the two, get past Mr. Grumpy up through there. It's not an easy overtake, as you can see. Midnight hasn't made it stick for now. Oh, there's a car off. Which car was that? 720, that's Cornelius again. Yep, Cornelius is not having a good time in that McLaren. Obviously doesn't like this track very well. I've spent some time in that McLaren myself. Beautiful looking car, but seems to quite have the grunt where you need it. I think it struggles on the brakes. We've decided the problems with the McLaren are you tend to have to brake far too early compared to everywhere else. Now this is going to be interesting because it is right behind Sweeney in that slipstream. Side by side this time. Oh, Midnight's really heaved one into there. Yeah, no, Sweeney was a little wide. Midnight, no, he's going to keep it around the outside and he's going to have the inside line to this last corner. And Midnight then makes it back into second place. Good little battle here developing. Second and third. The pace between the two also very good because Cornish Town not really catching up considering they are battling a bit. Losing ground to the man in fourth, and the field has spread out a bit. And it's hard to actually see. There is actually any other battle on track for track position. There seems to be a lot of cars. A few coming in the pits, so Tritt is in the pits. Unsafe Release is in the pits for presumably his stop go because he has done his mandatory stops. Currently fight on track, let's see, 37.62 are close to each other, but that's Matthew and Flying From who lapped each other. Oh no, it's Matthew and Tumble, isn't it? Yeah. So I might go back and watch that one. Oh, these two again, Midnight and Sweeney, they're going for it again. This isn't where you'd want to be going side by side, as Midnight just holds on. Sweeney, sensibly enough, doesn't try and stick the car where it's not needed. It's easy to crash coming down this section on your own. Trying to go side by side next to someone. Cablo looks like he's off the track further up. I think that's car 84. Cablo, in fact Cablo has called it a day, fortunately. Let's pop back to this battle then between Midnight and Sweeney. Shame to see Cablo go. He just can't seem to couldn't buy any luck at the minute. He once again had a first lap incident. Sad that I missed it again. Sweeney and Midnight. Sweeney's never scared of getting the car in. Midnight, nice though. Oh, Sweeney has such a good run off that chicane. Does he have enough to get up the inside into the last corner? A little bit of contact between the two of them. Sweeney then, not quite there, but I think he'll have it. He has got it now, and he'll have it through the first corner because it's a left-hander. And then they're going to go all at it again. Can Midnight get the drag out of turn one? And then we're going to go back and have a look at what's going on between Mr. Tumble and Matthew because they're also close to each other. Mr. Tumble still leads Matthew at the minute. Hold him off just into turn one. Back up to this battle between Midnight and Sweeney. Sweeney's got past on. Oh, I missed that. Midnight. Oh, and then I'll try not to make just random noises, but I'm guessing something's then happened up into that right-hander at the end of the first straight, because Midnight's dropped a long way back then to Sweeney, so whether they just got a bit too aggressive on each other, one pushed the other into the wall, we'll see. Shame that'll develop into a nice battle, so we'll come back then to Mr. Tumble and Riley Matty having a look at each other. Let's see how we go. Oh, there. Midnight is catching up to Sweeney again, so we may get to see that battle raging again, but for the minute let's watch these two, because Matty is getting very close to Mr. Tumble now. That looks like a Mr. Grumpy just in front of them, who's lap down, has pitted. Quite a lot of action, and there are still 35 minutes left in this race. We'll try and get Taco on stream at some point, because he's having a good race. They're in first, 6 seconds ahead of everyone. Well, not everyone, 6 seconds ahead of Sweeney. Further than that, ahead of everyone else. These ones are your battle on track. H is behind Flying Frome. On track. That's interesting. He's a long way. What? I'm very confused. What's happened there? Why is he so far behind? Oh, I'm a bit lost as to how Flying Frome has got such a big lead. He had a big crash earlier, and I don't think Bonage has had any issues, so they're both pitted. Very strange. Anyway, let's go and find this battle between Tumble and Matty again. Those are the two on track. They are catching up to Mr. Grumpy. He's pitted. He's on fresh tyres. Mr. Grum, all the ones. Oh, this isn't where you want to catch up to a car. Yeah, there we go. It's going to be tricky. I mean, Mr. Grumpy will probably let you through on the straight, you'd imagine. We're still going to be holding people up a bit. Yeah, there he goes, lets the cars past. Yeah, this battle continues. It's not raging particularly, but it's simmering nicely. They're close enough. Matty is going to have a look, but they look very, very similar pace, these two cars. Sweeney is closing up to Taco, I've just noticed. Now that gap to Midnight, now he's free of him. Now he's not going to battle him too much. Presumably Midnight's not in the slipstream. That'll keep you close to someone. Now he's managed to drag himself away. He's closing up to Taco a bit, so that battle might come down to the end of the race. But for now, this is the battle on track. Try and give some other people some airtime, but I don't want to miss an overtake, having done that before with Sweeney and Matty. Sweeney and Midnight, rather. Yeah, see, Matty's all over the back of him. Up the hill. I think he's probably the faster car, but it's not easy to get through. especially if you're faster in the corners. If that Bentley's got the grunt down the straight, it's going to prove very tricky to get ahead of. Even if he is struggling through these turns, these twists and turns at the top of the hill. That is a beautiful camera, it really is. Yes, he's so close. He's almost pushing him around these corners. But I'm not entirely sure which car that is. Run to get past down the straight. Just doesn't seem to. Yes, you get to the. There's a couple of times I've seen that as he's got to the. Whatever that's called. I didn't look it up before, but just a little kink at the end of the straight. He's just never quite there, so Matty is going to go for an undercut. So that's the. Oh, it is the Aston Martin. So Mr. Tumble's in the Bentley. Matty's in the Aston Martin. So Matty's going to try and undercut Mr. Tumble.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
And there we go. That's 30 minutes of race time gone. I think it's been quite a busy race so far, if I'm honest. So while there's a little bit of time on track, let's go and watch our race leader Taco, who we've not seen much. Looks like it is, that's Ponish Town behind him. He's been lapped. Oh! Struggles a bit coming out that corner. Let's watch Taco, because he's led the race from, well, what was second on the grid, but for some reason blue flag. I'm just having a look, it says his game put him in the pits. For some reason, but yeah, Taco then led us off from second on the grid and has stayed there since. Sweeney trying to catch up to him, but at the minute, it's like Taco's there and he's going to take his pit stop, and we are halfway into the race, like I said. So, if you've got no reason to pit otherwise, go halfway into the race. That's the best bit of time management. Looks like Sweeney's going to stay out. Form some. Oh no, Sweeney's pitted as well. So they try and form some kind of delta, but not going for that one. So the front two are in the pits. Just gotta make sure you hit your mark. It's easy. It is easy on this game to miss your mark. Reverse it round and wait till the car settles. So we'll see who's hit the mark best. And if anyone's going to sort of get a bit of a boost in the pits, but it's like most people now are taking their stops. So for Elise, no, he's coming down the straight. In fact, yeah, most people now are taking their stops. So let's see what's the running order as we're. Where's flying from? So he's up at the top of the circuit. Car 13, prototype Steph, looked like he was off then. Back on, obviously struggling at the chicane. So we're through the pits pretty much. Duo Finn is the only one who hasn't pitted. Well known for going long on his pit stops. Does like tyre management. Duo. Always enjoyable racing with him. Hard but fair. Every time I've raced against Duo, always hard but fair racing. As that, and that's an issue. I apologise being on board. As she just had a little moment coming out there as his tyres are worn. Duo will be the last to do their pit stop. It's not an unusual situation for him. Does often go long as a man, but say always an enjoyable person to race against. There you go, just keep an eye on the chat there. So Cornelius says, really sorry flying from for the dive bomb, completely missed the braking point, which I think from those of us that saw it, was a little bit at the back of the stream, but I think having seen it, it was, yeah, that's probably a fair description of what happened. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the worst of us. I'm certainly not a stranger to a dive bomb myself, an accidental one or deliberate. Some of them work, some of them really, really don't. It's always nice to see a bit of fairness and spirit among the competitors. So there's a bit of holding your own hand up. It's good. So just have a look at these gaps. Then after the pit stop, that says that Sweeney is 11 seconds behind Tocco. So I am guessing, and of course I'm only guessing, that Sweeney would have had a bit of damage he had repaired. So Tocco's done a lot better out of the pits than Sweeney did. And that's a very handy lead he's got. So that Bentley, we may well be seeing that at the front. At the end of this race, barring unforced errors or a bit of bad luck. And that was very generous from, I think that's Mr. Grumpy that he's overtaken. It was very generous from Mr. Grumpy to let Tocco through there. You certainly don't want to get caught up with the race leader. I'm well aware of that, but that was a very generous bit of lapping. Down the hill there comes Tocco. S is the... I've forgotten the name of that turn again now. Let's get the old track map up again. That'll be called the Dipper. The Dipper. The Australians, if there were any watching this stream, would be appalled. Frankly, amateur presentation that you are all witnessing. There are two cars that are fairly close there on track, but I'm not sure which two they are. It's like midnight. Ah, he's also lapped him. It's midnight. Flying Frome up in fourth. He's on a great recovery drive. Oh, he says, that's not the line, Frome. What are you doing, lad? Tracks to your right, mate. What are you doing? I suppose looking at that, it's no wonder Frome's had such a good recovery if that's the line he's taking. He's famous for corner cutting, but that's taking it to the extreme, man. I'm going to watch you next time, see if you do that again. We'll come back to Flying Frome next lap. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Oh, car 13, that's Steph. Steph is, oh, a little donuts. He's not enjoying that corner. That's 2 or 3 times he's been off there. Ferrari is doing Steph any favours. Oh, that's... Oh, he's... Okay, he's let through through. I was a bit worried he'd come back on the racing line, but done a good job. P14, sticking his way through. So who's missing from this? Cablo, and we are missing one more. Not sure who it is. Minute, unfortunately, blue flag, because he's still in the blue flag, is still in the race. He's in 10th. Was our pole sitter, started from pits, unfortunately. He's not had a good race, even considering that, though. Really, I mean, 10th is probably not where he was looking, even if... Oh, Ponishtown's back in the pits. He must have had a big incident. Hitting again. Let's just have a watch. Well, I presume he's not going to change the tyres. Ah, see, there you go. That's what I was talking about before. It's easily done. It's easy to miss your mark on the pits in this game. If you're not there, you do, as you saw, he has to go up, wait a little second for the game to not say you're in the right place, then reverse back. It's easily done. You lose a chunk of time. So unfortunately, Ponishtown, from what was looking a very strong fourth, is going to be tumbling down. He's going to, I'd say, stroll in it, but yeah, that was a shame this weekend, I thought. And it was not going to win, as we saw, because Hamilton, of course, had the pace by a long, long way in the end. but it was unfortunate that Racing Point chose to pit him. They had to pit one of the cars. I was watching the race, I thought they had to pit one of them, just to see, because if Racing Point got that call wrong and both of them lost a podium, it's better to have one podium than try and gamble and get both of them on the podium. Obviously the best thing would have been to leave Stroll out and just they'd have been second and third, but as it is, they took the gamble, it didn't work. Unfortunate for Lance. He'll get there, he's had a podium before. Yeah, Pony seems to be having a similar race, so having looked so strong earlier, back out and he's in 10th and he's behind, he's behind Flying Frome and he's been lapped. Car 89 is Mr. Grumpy, who's off the track further up the field. That's like the camera pan around, there he is. That's not a place to be! Oh, that's a monstrous crash between, I think that's Grumpy and Lee Cole, I think was coming up the hill. Oh, that's gone so bad. That's gone so bad. Oh, that car is in a bad way. Oh, that was massive. I'm so glad I saw that. I'm sorry, Mr. Grumpy, for laughing at your misfortune, but that was a terrific, albeit horrendous looking crash. And where is your car? He's not moving. There's another car, 13. It's Steph, who is limping his way up and around, and unfortunately the way these cameras are, we can't actually see where Mr. Grumpy's car is, which is a shame, because he's obviously in, there he is, he's sort of limping around now. He got absolutely cleaned by Lee Cole. That was a wonderful cry. Look at the state of Lee Cole's car. Oh, fellas, I'm sorry, that was so unfortunate, but what a thing to witness. It's oh, look. The state of that car, it can barely turn left to get in the pits. Oh, Lee Grumpy, that's so unfortunate. Grumpy's rear suspension must be annihilated. Oh, it's painful. It looks painful. It's really struggling round. That was a big crash. Yeah, the left-hand side of that car doesn't look great. In he comes. Oh wow, that was bad. That was a bad crash. Let's go up front, because I think the field, yeah, see, it's spread out. We've got 18 minutes left in this race. Oh, he says, and Taco just runs wide. Pressure, don't need to rush it, just ease it. I think he's won races before, Taco. I don't think this is his first time leading. He's had some good wet races. Putting pressure on yourself, it's bad enough putting pressure on from other people. There are what looks like probably 9 laps left, I would guess, given the time. Yeah, see, Sweety's caught a second up on that lap, but I would imagine that's because of the running wide. No need to put pressure on yourself, just keep doing what you've been doing. He's led it so far very comfortably indeed. Just get back in that rhythm. No pressure, everyone else is sort of falling behind. But there you go, see, that first section he's already pulled a few tenths on Sweeney, so what I'm going to say is taking my advice, because I would never pretend to advise anyone on how to win a race. Not a prolific race or winner. It does happen on occasion. And every single time it happens, this is around the time I get very, very nervous. But this is where the experienced race winners know what they're doing. I think looks like Taco has found himself a nice rhythm again. Oh, Flying Throne's back in the pits. Why's Flying Throne back in the pits? That car looks beaten up as well. What's he done? I'd be very interested to see that. I'm sad I've missed whatever Froma's done. That car looks very, very, very damaged. So obviously had an issue coming over the hill. But I'm thinking I'm just going to have to fill in as best I can now because everybody has sort of spread out a bit. So I think this is probably your closest battle on track, which is Unsafe Release and Trit for 10th place. Oh, hello, there's another car at the top of the hill. Who's that, 94? Is that Lee again? Oh, no. No, 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 no. That's such a bad place to be broken down in someone else's... Oh, wow. Well done, guys, for missing him. That's such a bad place for him to be spun. Blimey. They've done very well to miss him there. Anyway, let's go back to what was the battle between Unsafe Release and Trit. Yes, that's your battle for 10th place. And yeah, just looking at that track map everywhere else, they've all just found their own little spaces. Midnight. Midnight does have someone. Who's that behind him? Is that Grumpy? Yeah, that was Mr. Grumpy just about midnight. I wasn't sure if he was catching him up or not. After getting absolutely cleaned out. Let's say it's a testament to Grumpy's engineers that his car is still going. That was a wonderful crash. You guys are getting close. So, yeah, Trip was another one to start from the pits, wasn't he? So, I think he's made that move. Oh, I'd say he's made the move easily. Oh, he's in the wall. Okay, a bit of damage. That might just help Unsafe Release out a bit. Just a slow Trit down with a bit of damage. Not that it was deliberate. I'm sure. Oh, there's another car. Lee Call again is off. He's not finding the best places to crash, if I'm honest. So once again, it's on the inside of that corner. That's not a place you want to be facing the wrong way. Struggling a lot is Lee Cole now. Safe Release and Trit as they come through the S's. Oh, that's a big crash. Unsafe Release and Trit is through now. That's unfortunate. I do say that it's a tricky corner, that little left-hander. Oh, hey Iggy. Notice your comment there. Yeah, Taco's looking strong. Looking good. A little moment before, but seems to have recovered a bit, so looking very good indeed. Not on Trit, Unsafe Release, having smashed into the wall then. Oh wow, that car isn't handling nicely. Is he going to repair that damage? Yeah, thinks about it, comes in. It's going to cost him some places, but sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. He's got 10 minutes of trying to drive around like that. who else is on track then? We've got Duo Finn, looks like he's been lapped by Flying Frome. He's down in 8th, having had that second pit stop for some reason. Right, who's still going then? So Frome's then 8th. Yeah, there is literally nothing. Look at that track now. There's nothing happening on track. Everybody has found their own little gap. Lee Cole's pitting again. He's not enjoying this track at all. So let's just go back up front then with Taco. Let's see how this track's meant to be driven. Didn't see much of the leader last week, unfortunately, because I guess we had lots of action. But this week, we certainly do not have that. Looking at the track where the two cars are close, it's Frome trying to lap Duo Finn. But other than that, everybody else is so spread out. Anyway, you can't complain. We've had some amazing races so far in the series. I've enjoyed commentating on it, and I'm looking forward to doing it again next week. What we're talking about next week? Oh, pit window is just about to close, but that's not a problem. Everybody has done their pit stops in plenty of time. Let's see what's next week's race. Suzuka to go out to Japan. The cars that like the twisty sections will probably enjoy that one again. Yeah, I think probably the most exciting thing at the minute on track is going to be Frome lapping Duo Finn. There it is, some blue flags waving. Two cars next to each other. If not, it's I'm not going to say let's hope Lee Cole manages to stick it somewhere else ridiculous, but you know, he's been good for it so far. So, oh, Frome, wow, that was interesting. Really came over to the left. Or right, I think it was the right, isn't it, as you're driving? There he goes, and into the chicane, laps Duo Finn, nice and easily. So who's further back? We've got Blue Mosquito, but he's catching up to Prototype Steph. And again, this is not for position, this is to lap. So while we're here, let's have a little rundown as the race is particularly quiet. Let's just go up front. Taco, he started, well, was second on the grid. Blue flag unfortunately didn't start. He started from the pit lane, so Taco got to take pole. Let's see if we can see what's going on with Wally. No, unfortunately not. Oh, there's Lee Cole again. Sorry, I didn't mean such a jinx. Lee Cole's not liking this. You can tell. It doesn't take a genius to suggest that he's not enjoying this track much. Yeah, Taco started from second and has led every lap, I think. I don't think he's ever been out of the lead. It's been a fantastic drive. Been very, very comfortable up front there. Sweeney in second. Had a couple of battles. Forced way through Frome, managed to get past Midnight. Unfortunately missed that one on the stream. So I don't know if there's anything to go in the stewards for that or not, because there was a big gap. Once he'd overtaken him, there was a big gap. So there may be an issue there, but if not, all okay. Midnight then third. He's had a reasonably quiet. I was like blue flags off the track. Yeah, he's had a reasonably quiet race. Midnight after that battle, he's just sort of been up there. Good quality pace. Started off high and just sort of been there. Mr. Tumble. Before I honestly hadn't noticed him. He's had a good race. Blue Mosquito had an issue earlier on. Had a nice recovery drive. Matthew 6th again. He started a bit lower than that. I think he's taken advantage of a few people's errors. Made his way up. Blue flag in 7th. I think he's great position for blue flag. Considering, I say he did start from the pits, but then he must have had an issue somewhere else because he seemed like he was a long way off for a man that had started from the pits. He was getting lapped fairly early on, so something else must have happened in his race. Flying Throne's 8th place at the minute. He's not had a great time of it. I think 8th is. I don't mean he could probably have been higher up. I'm not sure what happened. He made him have that second pit stop. He's had a good race generally, other than the couple of crashes. I think where he is now, unless he's stuck it in the wall at the corner, in which case he's silly, but could have been further up the grid. Ponish Town had to have a second pit stop again for some reason. Sadly missed, but yeah, he was looking strong early on, and then seemed to fall off again for some reason. Tritt 10th. He also started from the pits. Unfortunate. There's another car off. Is that Lee Coll off the track again? It is. Apologies, not having good fun. Yeah, Tritt started from the pits, so a bit of a recovery drive. Can't claim it. The duo Finn's having a nice drive. 11th, solid. Long on the old pit stop, unsafe release. I think he had some pace early on. Sure about that. Prototype Steph. Again, was quick, but has had a few issues. I've seen him off the track a few times. Grumpy had that fantastic crash with Lee Coll, which I'm sure I'll look forward to watching that back again, because that was wonderful. Up at the top of the S's, and he just couldn't get the car out of the way, and Lee couldn't get himself in position. And clobbered him, and Lee bring up the rear. Laps down, struggling, but struggling on. So, see, I'm hoping he's enjoying the race regardless of the challenge, because really that's why we race. We don't race, all of us, most of us, to win. I mean, in this race, 14 people aren't going to win, of course. So if you race only to win, you might as well race yourself. It's all about racing to enjoy it, and I'm hoping Lee's enjoying what is an incredible struggle on a challenging track. That's not, if I'm honest, that's not the line through that part of the track, but you know, it worked for him. He's got it stopped. Yeah, that's a man having a struggle. Go. Anyway, let's just go back up to the front with Taco, and he has now lapped the car with a 7. Is that Mr. Tumble? No, it's not Mr. Tumble. So maybe it's. I can't work out which car that is. Oh, it's Tritt. That's what we like there. It's Tritt. So 2 minutes 55 left, so we are going to have 29 laps of this race. I think I said 30 early on, so I will take that as a reasonable estimate. Ponish Town's in the pits again. Who's that? Oh, hello. We've actually got a bit of a battle on track, and this is for position. Waffled on for the last few minutes as best I could. We've actually now got a little scrap for 11th place between Unsafe Release and Duo Finn. And in fact, is he going to be for 10th place? Or, oh no, Pony's just come out up in 10th. So that's given Tritt. Yeah, I gave Tritt 9th place, so that's not too bad for Ponage. It looks like he'd be a lap by From again, having. It's not really worked out for Ponage this race. He looked so strong early on. So this is the closest and frankly only battle on track, and it's the only one we've had in a while, so we'll focus in on it, and it's Duo Finn against Unsafe Release for 11th place. This really, wow, Unsafe Release had a good run out of there. This is what I was saying really about the racing. It's not about winning, it's about beating whoever it is you're against on the day. So if the guy you're racing is in 7th, if you can come 7th, then you are happy. It's the fun that we do it for. Well, let's see how they go down the S's.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap.
But we'll
Give it
try
all you
and
can.
remember to switch to Taco. Oh hello, I just noticed that Sweeney has taken an awful lot of time out of Taco the last couple of laps, so it's 5 seconds is the gap, but 5 seconds really should be enough unless that is a big bit of damage. So I'll just keep an eye and make sure that those sector times aren't going down too fast. I'm sure they're fine. Taco's looked strong all race, and it would be a shame to give it up with a mistake on lap 28, the best part of an hour into your race. So it was 5.3 between Taco and Sweeney. It's now, yeah, 5.4. So whatever that was, seems comfy enough. Duo then trying to hold off Unsafe Release. And Unsafe Release tries to go on the outside. That's, what a run that is. That's an amazing move. Wow, that's fantastic. Duo can't quite get the power down. And that's a great move from Unsafe Release to take 11th place back. So, while there's not a lot going on, just keep an eye on these two, make sure nothing untoward happens coming up to the hill. Duo's going to have a look. Duo's going to have a look. But he's not got there. So where is car 3? Car 3 is coming down the back straight now. And he's got 3 corners left. 4 corners left. So glad I built that up. Got this little right-hander, the kink. The left-hander at turn 21. Turn 22 is your right-hander. And then if I can get the track map up quickly enough and I can remember the name of this final corner. Round Murray's corner comes Artemis Taco to take what has been an incredibly dominant win here in round 5 of FTRL's Assetto Corsa series. Great race from him. Sweeney will take the championship lead and kiss him a bit of a kiss just for fun at the end of the race. No one cares about the safety rating. Fantastic race there from Taco. Good race from Sweeney. Midnight takes 3rd. Mr. Tumble then. Wow, that is a big gap. Mr. Tumble down in 4th. So we'll see if we can watch other people cross the line. So Blue Flag, who was meant to be our provisional pole sitter, but who didn't join the race for whatever reason, he will come across the line in 7th. Ponish Town is going to be the next to cross the line in 10th place. Looks like Lee Cole there finishing that off. Oh, I'm not quite sure that was Ponish. Just, I think, summing up the way his race has gone. Let's watch Mr. Tumble then. Oh, in fact, Blue Mosquito's got really close to Mr. Tumble. Once we come to the end of this race, I don't imagine he's close enough to really have a look at him, but we've actually got a little battle going on for 4th place at the end of this race, but it seems solid enough unless Tumble's running out of fuel. But no, it seems fine, and Mr. Tumble is going to take a nice 4th place in that Bentley. And looks like the last few is across the line. We've got Steph's going to come across the line in, well, it says 12th, but I think someone left the race already. Matty then in 6th, and then the last race finisher is going to be the man who had the most fantastic crash we've seen. It's going to be Mr. Grumpy. So we'll just watch him as he comes to the last few corners. And Mr. Grumpy comes across the line to take 13th, I think, but we'll see what position that actually was when it all pans out. So I think someone left the race. So Taco's in the pit, so let's see what Sweeney's doing. Is Sweeney doing anything? Well, we can't see from this camera angle, but he may well be enjoying a donut or two. Someone is anyway. 1:37. Mr. Tumble is having a donut. Oh, it was Trit. Fair enough, it was Trit that disconnected.
Which was from 9th place.
So that's fine. And Safe Release says he's glad that it's over. Yeah, great race from Taco. Really commanded that all the way through. Well done. And well, I suppose we can always say I've not got the championship standings as they are now, but it's just this is what they were. So Iggy was leading. Sweeney's second place will take him into the lead. Frome in 8th, so he will go ahead of Iggy, but not by too much. Toko's win will bring him right up towards Iggy. And I think we've got a bit of a championship fight on our hands over the last, how many rounds is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. So it's Suzuka next week. Join us for that one. Hopefully, I'd say hopefully we'll see a bit more on-track action. It's always an interesting track, Suzuka. But I enjoyed that race. I think everyone, the few incidents aside, I think everyone had a nice race. Toko's really had a lovely race there for him. Tends to be, maybe more of a rainmeister, but showed what he can do in the dry there. Enjoyed that one all, and till next time, we'll see you next week. Good night.